In this review, we're going to look at the knockoff 80th anniversary Hulk, or as they call it, the light green Hulk. This KO comes packaged just like all the other KOs on the Hulk body. That comes in a poly bag. The accessories in little Ziploc bags inside the poly bag. Let's open up, take a look. You see, it comes with the torn lab coat, alternate fist hands. Comes packaged with the grip hands, the open splay style pose hands. With everything out of the plastic bags, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the accessories. We have the Hulk fist. Both hands have a light green airbrushing on the back of the hands for highlights. We have the lab coat. The same lab coat sculpt we've seen on all the KO Hulks. Of course, with this is where it's folded up in the Ziploc bag. You'll need to heat this up and reform it around the body, because right now it's going to curl up where it was folded up inside the little Ziploc bag. And you have the two open style hands that was on the figure outside the bag. Those also have the light green highlights. Speaking of the highlights, they went a little overboard with this figure. It's a little too light. It's almost a yellowish, especially on the feet. Yeah, that's a little much. But if they toned it down a little bit, it'd been perfect. Bringing in like the official figure, it has the light green highlights as well. It's a little bit darker, but it's still light green. This one's got a little bit more yellow. And the concentration of the greens at different locations, like on the official figure, the highlights are on the more to the side of the pecs. And this is right in the center. On the lower ab section, it's got highlights up top. Same with this one. When you bend it back, you can see the highlights here. You got highlights on the shoulders, the biceps, the back of the shoulders, the back of the triceps, on the side of the forearms, of course on the back of the hands. This is where the worst culprit, though, on the feet. They went a little overboard when they hit the airbrush on those, especially on this one. I got a halo right there where they hit the yellow. Got a little bit over here, but if I wasn't going to use this for a custom, this is easily removed. I got a tutorial like how to remove tampographs on figures, so that this can easily be wiped off with a little bit of either clear nail polish or the brush cleaner solution that I use for removing tampographs. But it still looks good though. A lot of detail in the figure. One thing I was looking at these figures, if you see one of these out in the wild, you're not sure, like say, like if you're at a toy convention or Comic-Con or toy shop, and you don't know if you're looking at a KO or not. Because if you look at these side by side, they look pretty good, pretty close to comparable to each other. The only real standing out is the feet, but if you don't know that, you may not even know that. But here's the real tip, the bottom of the feet. If you notice, the copyright information, the CE made in China, is very pronounced on the official figure. On the KO, it's barely visible. It's very smooth. So if you see feet like this, you're looking at a KO. As with mentioned construction-wise, these are also made different. If you have one of these and you bought it and you didn't notice the feet and you don't know to look at the feet, another way to tell is take a blow dryer, heat this sucker up, pop the upper torso off. Does it take much heat to pop these off? If you see screw holes on the upper part of the lower torso, it's a KO. The factory figures, these are glued. And on the KOs, they use screws. Well, let's try out changing out the hands. The plastic on these is really a lot harder than the official figure. So it takes a little bit more effort to pop the hands in and out. I've done this a couple times, so it's getting a little easier. So we got the fist hands. And that looks good. Oh, one other way to tell if you got a KO, the tolerance between the waist twist. On the official figure, it's really tight. You don't really see any gap between the abs and the waist. It's a nice tight tolerance. You don't see any gap whatsoever. At least on this one, you can see light around the waist twist. Is that true with the SDC? Yes, that is also true with the SDC. And what about the Juggernaut? Yep, the same with the Juggernauts. So if there's a little bit of gap where you can see light through your waist twist, another way to tell if it's KO or not. As for joint tolerances, this is really good. The Juggernauts have been really good. The SDC was good, except for I had to fix the arm. After that, it was fine. But let's look at the articulation. That way we can actually look at how tight the joints are, the tolerances they are. The head is on a ball peg, double ball peg. Move around, all around. One thing I did notice with the construction of this too, can you see on the neck stem, you see that little divot there? The official figure does not have that. It's a solid stem. That looks like an injection port, or when they molded the figure. That is not a smooth surface. On the official one, that is smooth, and it's a little thicker diameter. One of the things I noticed with the ball peg too is a little bit smaller than on the official one. Not much, just a little. You can see it's a smaller diameter. The official head will pop on here, no problem. But let's see if the knockoff head will go onto the official. No. You could force it on there, but it won't easily pop on there. Okay, now we got the head back on. Let's go ahead and just do a quick rundown on articulation and check all the joint tolerances. Of course, we got the double ball peg. Up, down, up, roll around, full 360. Disc hinge shoulders. Kick up to here. Full 360. Same over here. Full 360. You have the reverse butterfly joint. Kicks back this far. You have the bicep swivels, which the biceps are floating pieces, so they can do a full 360. And you have the peg that goes up in the shoulders, which is the real connection point between the forearm and the shoulder. So you have a swivel there. And just under 90 degrees. And both of them move very nicely. Nice tolerances. Nothing loose. In the swivel wrist, you have the diaphragm joint. That's where you get your ab crunch. That goes back this far. Crunches forward this far. And we'll rock to the side to side. Waist twist, full 360. Ball jointed hips. Kick out this far. Kick forward this far. And nothing loose. No back really. You have a thigh swivel. Nice tight thigh swivel. The way these are constructed, these are super strong thigh swivels. On these, they are made different. On the official, you have a standard smaller mushroom peg. It's for a lot of Marvel Legends figures. On the KOs, they use a disc peg and a much larger diameter thigh peg hole. And they fit together like that, so if you're ever thinking about getting a KO to use on a lower from here down, like if you're planning on doing a swap like with the Maestro, you can't just swap at the thigh down. You have to swap at the boot or swap at the hip. Double joint knees, both are tight. Can get you that far. And you have hinged ankles. They go down this far, forward that much, and ankle pivots. Everything is nice and tight. Now, like I said, I bought this one mainly because I want to do a custom figure. I'm planning on doing a Smart Hulk. And I have a casting of a enlarged Toy Biz Smart Hulk head I got years ago from Glassman Customs. I resculpted the hair, resculpted the back of the head, fitted it for this body. That's how I found out too, the neck, the ball joints on the heads are smaller. So I had this fitted originally for the official figure, and the peg hole was too big when I put it on this one. So I had to refit it to this figure. And with the greens too, they're a little different shades of green. They're close, but not quite. It's a little shinier too on the KL as well, which that'll be fixed with a nice paint job, but that's besides the point. But these are nice. Like I said, this one went a little overboard with the highlights. But for the price point, if you're looking for Hulk figures, these are awesome. I've liked every one I've gotten so far. I'm hoping they do like with the Juggernaut, they end up doing a Colossus Juggernaut repaint. I would so buy that. Or J2. Yeah, hint, hint. If the KOs guys are ever that's making these, I'd love to have a Colossus Juggernaut or a J2 Juggernaut. And if those who don't know, J2 was in the M2 alternate universe, that was the Juggernaut's son. But let's get back to the Hulk. For the price point, for 25 bucks, you can't go wrong with this. It's a great looking Hulk. I have no issues with this one. Great articulation, joints are tight. So the only issue I had with this one, and that's a minor nitpick, they went a little overboard with the highlights. I wish we could have get it kind of in between these two as well. The lighter green, instead of all these bright highlights, pick out all the veins and stuff, the detail work they did on this, the detail on the pants, on the lighter green. Whereas if you want to, you can actually get both of these. The way these are constructed, you could easily swap the legs out. The lower cuffs are a floating piece. Take it apart, swap out the legs. You can have better detailed paint job, but you still wouldn't have the nice vein work they did on this one. So I'm going to have a mix between these two. And I wish this one came with a fist for this hand too, so wish list. I hope this helps anybody who's been on the fence about getting one of these 8th anniversary Hulks. I know when these things were like selling for like 40 bucks a pop or better, 40, 50 bucks at one time, I was hesitant to ever even think about buying one because I had no idea about the quality. But now these are down to like Juggernaut you can get for 21 bucks. These are like 24, 25, 26, something like that. You can't go wrong with these. The quality's good, build quality's good, but I just like these things. For the money, you can't really go wrong with the quality. But anyway, thank you for taking the time, watch the review, like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.